So, hello everybody, welcome back to Mindset Matters, episode 4 in 4 weeks. How good's that? I am here with Helen Gregory. Hello, Helen.
Hello.
And we're coming from a secret location. Well, it's from a coffee table, pretty much. And Helen has very kindly agreed to come on the show.
Thank you.
So it's great to have you here, Helen.
Great to be here.
And it's very exciting because we've got a lot of things we could talk about. There are many things. There's almost a theme, isn't there, going to be running through this of manyness. You've taught me a new phrase. What's that phrase?
Multi-potentialite.
Multi-potentialite.
It's a word that I learned very recently. There's a lady who did a wonderful TED talk on the topic, and it just means a person with many facets, really. So,
That's definitely
and
so.
I just identified.
Right. We need to name some of these. So we've got mezzo-soprano trained opera singer.
Yeah, I'm a mezzo-soprano, yeah.
Fantastic, and we'll go into what that means for people that don't know opera.
I'm so in opera obviously you have singers, and there are different voice types. So mine is not the highest type of voice. So I have a richer sort of mellow tone. And we call that a mezzo-soprano. So,
okay, cool.
yeah, so then you've got your tenors and your basses.
Fantastic.
And yeah, I'd been singing for a long time and just really wanted to achieve the highest level I could. So I've trained at postgraduate level and now do that as part of my many income streams. One of my many sort of identities, really.
Brilliant. So we've got me, because I'm a musician. As soon as you said that, I just thought of Freddie Mercury when he did that opera album, because he was that good, wasn't he? And that shows the level of skill in opera.
And it was also
so
he was very keen on the opera himself.
He was, wasn't he? Yeah.
And actually came across Montserrat Caballé that he did the Barcelona with.
Yeah.
He saw her at the opera and was just floored by her. And obviously, because he'd listened to it so much, I think it had influenced his music all along.
Absolutely.
So.
Oh, the power he's got in his voice and the command, it's amazing. So we've got opera singer, which is incredible. And then we've got tech whiz. So you say, working at EKM, working in software.
Yeah, I work for EKM, which is a e-commerce hub here in the northwest of England.
With a slide.
In Preston. We are
Love that slide.
Tech hub. We've got a slide, which is rather exciting. But it's a company that really is an e-commerce platform. So anybody who wants to set up their own business has the opportunity to do that.
It's got to love the culture as well, isn't it? That's how we met.
Yeah.
You know, because I remember thinking, I was like, oh, here's a friendly person. You'll hold my bag as I go down the slide.
I was taking pictures of people as they came down the slide. So anybody who comes on any sort of a business
shot
day.
before and after shot. You know?
Yeah, anybody who comes around and gets the office tour, you quite often get me at the bottom taking pictures. So everyone's got a keepsake.
Get down the slide.
You don't have to take your shoes off. There's a sack. You can put yourself in a sack.
Oh, I can't even
with EKM branded sack. Yeah.
A branded sack. That's fantastic. So let's keep going on the list. And then the third one, we would say author, because you do write. You are a writer. You're a blogger.
I am about to become an author because I am in the middle of writing.
An author is someone who writes.
Yes.
A writer writes. So
I do
you're
write,
a writer.
yes.
You are a writer.
I write blog
you
posts.
Can have that.
And, yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to own that. Yeah, I am a writer.
Brilliant. And then one aspect that might throw a curveball to some people we talk about is mental health.
Yeah.
Because you are a proud advocate of understanding an aspect of your life and taking ownership of it in a way that some people might be like, oh, right.
Yeah.
So do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So between the ages of, from my late teens up until now, really, I'd suffered a lot with periods of really bad depression. And I just kind of accepted that nothing would ever really be done about that. I was put on antidepressants and offered bits and bobs of therapy, which was never very consistent. And to be honest, because I came across as somebody who was relatively together with their lives, I was never seen as a priority to go through any sort of system. Yeah. And it came to a crisis point back in only 5 years ago. And I went to my GP and I said, look, this isn't
not right.
how I want to live. It's affecting all of my life. And I was sent for an assessment and found out that I suffered from bipolar disorder, which was a shock. Yeah. It does actually run in, there's a few people in my family who suffer from it. And I consider myself lucky because I actually suffer from bipolar 2. There's two different forms.
Is there? So it's almost like diabetes. There's two different ones.
So type 1 people it's very characterised by mania, which is what people tend to think of as bipolar.
You go up and you go
very
down.
high, very high highs and very low lows. Whereas bipolar 2 is being separated off because they very rarely see patients who suffer full-blown mania. It's more people who have lots of depressed periods in their life, but they also have periods of really intense creativity, and so it's like mania, but intense focus, and it's often displays itself as, you know, work, you know, people who work very hard, and because your brain will get very locked onto a subject or a passion. And so once I was diagnosed, I suddenly went, oh, I totally understand. Yeah. Now I know why I'm an opera singer and somebody who works in IT and does photography, and I know why I have so many passions that I've wanted to take to a professional level. And it's just because my brain is wired to lock on to things every now and again. Okay. Yeah. And then depression really is when you're quite depleted of energy and you've not looked after yourself mentally. So you go into periods where you're very low, and so actually being diagnosed with bipolar was like a really happy day. It was like, oh my God, I've finished suffering now. Yeah. I was offered some medication, which has really helped. Because I did feel like it was an issue for me, because as a performer, obviously you're exploring music, which I have a very strong emotional connection to. I was facing professional training, which involved a lot of criticism on a daily basis. I mean, constructive criticism, but
still criticism.
When your voice is your instrument and somebody criticises that, it's intensely personal. So I was in tears every day. Everything made me cry, everything. And I was like that before I went back to college. I went back to study singing at 31. Nice. Randomly. I'd worked for 10 years. I think it was all something. I just needed to do it. So.
And now you know why.
Yeah.
You've got to follow that passion.
But I'd always had this slight emotional instability, and people were saying, oh, I don't understand why she cries so much. You know, are you sad? Are you a sad person? I'm like, no. This is like passion. This is frustration,
it's the
bubbling
other end
up.
Of that good creativity, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the other bit you have to have. Because you care so much.
But it also, I believe, has made me the performer that I am, because I think I understand a very wide range of emotions, having experienced kind of both ends of the scale. And now that I can control that, because I've got a little bit of help with medication, then I feel like I've got a lot more resources to tap into. I can access those areas without them actually consuming me, which is really cool. So that's kind of led me to do a lot of personal development work as well, because I don't personally believe that, I don't think psychologists believe that you can't treat any mental disorder, whether it's anxiety, depression, with a medication without looking at what the life what is happening in the life,
context,
someone's habits, and the situations that they're in. So I've purposefully gone to try and make my life as structured in the way that I need it to be for my mental health, so that I know I don't need to get overtired, for instance. We all have a tendency to, burn the candle at both ends sometimes, and I have to realise I need to make sure that I look after myself. So,
but there must be a freeing element of that, because it's almost paradoxical, isn't it? By having that structure, you're free to work within that structure as much as you want and as well as you want. Yeah,
I think as my natural personality, I'm obviously creative, and I don't like the idea of structure. Yeah, but it's become the thing that actually...
Certain things need structure, not everything, but certain aspects.
Yeah, and I've realised that basic routines, ones that can be repeated, wherever you are, not, physical going into work every day, but things like, the self-care routines. I mean, even the very basics. If you've got them there and they are a solid foundation, then they are going to really set you up. So
Definitely.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So we've got, this is brilliant, because these are all areas I'm really interested in. So we've got personal development, music, writing, tech, Is there anything else we want to add?
Photography, photography was always a passion, and I did do it for a while. I was a wedding photographer for a short period. I do portrait photography now. I really like to work with people and to try and show people how they look to me. Yeah. Because people are so self-conscious in front of a camera.
They don't see what you see.
No, and my thing is always, I love taking pictures of people who hate having their photo taken. That is probably
like the challenge.
Yeah, no, I love it. And not because...
So what do? Do you talk to them? You try and...
Just talk and just rambling on like me.
And does that enable them to just kind of relax?
Breaks down things. It's all about, people think that they have to put on a smile, and actually so much of our smile and our personality comes out through in a relaxed way, you know, through the eyes, you know, it's not all facial, and it's always astonished me how many people just shrink in front of a camera and they feel...
You don't need to.
And it says a lot about how they feel about themselves, and I've always been a massive champion of making, you know, trying to boost people's self-esteem and to make them realise that you don't need to limit yourself with some of these thoughts. And people are beautiful. Everybody's beautiful. I don't think I've ever photographed somebody that I've not gone, you know, I've got something I can connect.
Everybody has something
to you with. Yeah.
If you guys enjoyed this video and want to find out more, I'm here on kataholos.co.uk. So click on the link below, and you can see here's our values, and you can either subscribe to our newsletter and become one of our subscribers, or you can click on the 10-week course to go to learn more. Here it is. Gives you all the information you need.